Hi guys, I'm here today to give you my review, you could say, of the FTX Vantage Brushless Buggy. This is a four-wheel drive, shaft-driven buggy. Very inexpensive way to get into the hobby. This was my first hobby grade buggy, or hobby grade car in general. I think it was a good starting point for me. But then again, I also think I could have got a lot more for my money. Well, I think you can get a lot more for your money now than what you could a year ago. This is how old this car is. It's over a year old now. So I'm pretty clued up on the flaws this car has, as well as the positive things it has. The body shell is still the stock body shell. This is what it looks like. Up to you if you like it or not. I don't really mind it. Not much damage to it. Well, you wouldn't expect much damage to it for a buggy. The wing, it has seen a fair few knocks, as you can see there. Yeah, you can see the little clear patches. But overall, I have been happy with this buggy. I think if I had the knowledge I had now, and I had this buggy, I think I could race decently well with it. It's everything is adjustable. You've got adjustable camber links. You've got toe in, toe out. You've got, you've got adjustable everything. You've got, noticing turnbuckles there and there. The only thing isn't tunable is the diffs, because they're very weak. I'll get onto that later. The shocks, also there's quite a lot of mounting positions up top. On the bottom you've got three options. This is on the outer holes as it is now. At the back, same amount of adjustments. You've only got two options at the bottom, but not a big deal. The stock shocks, these aren't the stock ones, same construction. The stock shocks also have threaded bodies, so you've got even more infinite adjustability there. Yeah, I think it's a raceable buggy. Now onto the electronics. For the price point of this car was £170 UK, pound sterling. The features this car has, I think it's a pretty good deal when I got it. As you can see, it's a brushless system. It's an e-tronics Photon 12-turn 3300 kV motor, 2-pole, and the ESC is an e-tronics. I think recalling, I think it was a 45 amp. I could be wrong. It could be the 35 amp. It's basically like a hobby wing combo, just rebranded. The servo, it's very slow and weak. It's a 3 kilogram servo. I think it is really slow for this buggy, because the speed that this unit carries, it can do 35, 40 easily. It'll keep up with my slash 4x4, my SCTE. But the steering is so slow, you have to pre-plan your route into a corner, just the slowness of the servo. So I would recommend changing that out. I'll just put this stock one back in just for this video. The radio system, as you can see, is a 2.4 GHz radio system. It's an e-tronics Pulse 2-channel. Very good system. It's just a FlySky FSG22, nothing too fancy. It does have steering trim, throttle trim, and steering dual rates, so at least you've got dual rates, to stop your servo burning out so quickly. Haven't had any glitching problems with it. It's been very reliable for me. I've used the receiver and controller in another car as well, so fine performance for me. The durability of this car, that's a bit of a sore area for me, because when I first got this, I was a complete newbie to the hobby. I was breaking A-arms pretty much nearly every time I ran it, which was a major annoyance, which sort of put me off repairing this car. Just the A-arms just broke, kept breaking, and it was just really annoying. But that's when I was very inexperienced. Now I'm a more experienced driver. I know how to take care of the car and what it can and cannot do. So if you drive it with care, it will perform brilliantly. The shocks as well, the shock shafts seem to bend easily. These are the upgraded shocks that same shock shaft, which is the problem point. They bend easily with even a light impact, so they'll bend the shock shaft. They don't seem to be that strong. The Spur Gear as well, that seems to be another point of durability problems, because if I could show you, the Spur Gear, it's a plastic Spur Gear onto a brass pinion. The Spur Gear seems to strip easily because the motor moves away quite easily. I don't know if that's just a problem, my fault, but the motor seems to just move away easily. I've tightened screws down until the point of stripping, and they just seem to, the motor just moves, and as once that does, the pinion then just eats the spur. But that's just another place of warning if you do get one of these buggies, which I would say, yeah, I would recommend this buggy. It's a good buggy to start with. It did come with a 2-cell LiPo battery as well as a charger for the battery. Good deal for 170 quid. The upgrades I've done with this car over the course of a year, I've done the upgraded aluminium shocks. I've also done the carbon fibre shock towers and the carbon fibre top plate. Those upgrades were done after I finished racing this buggy for good. I've done that purely because I wanted to keep this buggy, as it was my first ever hobby grade car. So I wanted to give it a little bit of TLC, so I put some upgrade parts on it. I also upgraded the steering knuckles. I think you can see there, yeah, the steering knuckles there, and I've also upgraded the rear hub carriers to I've also upgraded them to aluminium as well. The whole car rides on ball bearings. There seems to be a couple bushings in the bell cranks, which I'm not really too fussed about. Didn't really find a problem with it. Still runs perfectly smooth. I do run this on a 2-cell battery, not the one that was included. I use an Overlander 4000 pack 25C. It runs absolutely fine in this car. The drivetrain is, as far as the centre part goes, it's absolutely fine, apart from the Spur Gear. The fronts ride on CVAs or universal drive shafts. They seem to, the joints, they are very weak and they seem to snap easily. I've been through literally a couple of dozen of front drive shafts just simply because they split the pins, and then the pins seem to be stuck in the joint itself, so I've had to get a new set. The rear dog bones, not so much of a problem. The rear does ride on dog bones. I think only a couple of times I think the pins have gone, but this is over a course of a year. It's not like 1 week fine, next week gone. This is over a course of a year. The diffs as well, I don't think they would handle much more power than what this stock system gives. The stock system is plenty of power, no problem with it. The diffs seem to be weak though. They're metal diffs, but the outdrives seem to wiggle quite badly. So I don't think putting more power through this car would be a good idea. I just don't think the drivetrain would handle the power. The wing is also a source of weakness, as you can see there, because obviously when you go wrong with a buggy, you flip over, you land on the wing and the front shock tower like this. That also seems to be the problem. It's not a very thick material. I don't know if it's Lexan or PVC, I'm not really sure. I haven't really looked into it. The wheels and tyres that came with this buggy, they were pin tyres. These aren't the ones, these are some racing tyres that I glued up ages and ages ago. The stock ones are pin tyres on these same wheels. These are the wheels. Same wheel. I don't know if you can see, our light's not very good. But the tyres were absolutely fine. I mean, I could race on an Astro track pretty much straight away. But never in the course of me racing this buggy did I actually ever finish a race, because simply parts kept falling off. Screws were undoing. Tyres were coming unglued from the stock wheels. They weren't glued very well. And that's just, you know, beginners. I was a beginner. I didn't really know the ins and outs of the car. I got out the box. Next Sunday I was racing at the track, and yeah, that's the outcome. But overall, I think it was a very good buggy. I don't highly recommend it. I recommend it if you want a brushless four-wheel drive buggy for light duty bashing, more racing. As I said, good radio system, good power system. Only part I would upgrade as far as electronics go would be the servo. If you break anything else, I would say upgrade as you brake. They do have a aluminium set of A-arms for this car. I wouldn't go for that, because I like having a braking point on a car, which would usually be the A-arms, but these just seem to brake far too much. And I've also added the sway bar kit. I forgot to mention that in the upgrades. Sway bar kit I would recommend, because this car does flip easily. But after I've added the sway bar kit, it is pretty much steady as it can be. So yeah, that's really my review of the FTX Vantage brushless buggy. I thought I'd put it out there because I haven't really actually seen a review of this buggy in depth. So I thought I would have a go at it. If you like the video, click the like button. If you want to see the rest of my channel, just go through my channel videos. And if you like my channel, subscribe, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I would be happy to answer them. Thanks all for watching. See you in the next one.